Hold on, what's up guys, this is Hank Saber giving you guys an Infernoid deck list post-Cross Souls. It's a June 2015 list of Infernoids. A huge shout out to PointyStar for letting me upload to his channel. This is a phenomenal list, I love it, and if you guys haven't already, go over to my channel, Saber Selections. We do some fun stuff, some fun discussions with Seinfeld in the background. That's what that whole hello thing is from. But yeah, we do some great deck profiles like this, and let's get right into it. So this deck I'm nicknaming Hot Dog. You're gonna find out why later. So let's just get into this list. Basically, we're running what I think is a standard lineup right now. One unknown suit. You don't need two. You used to need two because he was like your best card, but now you also have Devyati. Devyati is basically the exact opposite of a known suit. It's a level 9. When it's special summoned, I think it's a she, but when she's special summoned, destroy all spell traps except for void spell traps, which is actually kind of huge in this deck because we are running void spell traps. So and also a known suit does, if your opponent would activate a spell or trap once per turn, tribute to negate it and banish it. Devyati is a monster effect, so basically they're opposites of each other, but it's really nice running one of each. And if you do run my build, which runs Eye of the Void, where you can technically have both on the field at the same time, that's complete lock. So we run one of each. Then I run 2 Atondel. I don't like having too many of the big guys because it actually kind of clogs. It gives me, when you can't special them, it's like the worst thing. So I just run 2 Atondel, I call them A-Train, and then the Sight for Sore Eyes White Dragon, 2 Infernoid Sight Samaz. Again, a very solid card. I only play 1 copy of Infernoid Petrulia because out of the smaller ones, Petrulia is kind of the worst one, being that Necro is the best deck right now. They run 0 back row, so Petrulia is a meh card, but it's still very good as fodder for your bigger guys. Then, of course, we run 3 Harmodike. Harmodike, just your best card, just like a bear. Then we run 3 copies of Antra, just being able to return back to the hand any face-up cards, and then set cards, you get to shuffle them back with Pirmaias, so that's kind of cool. Level 1. This is not the tuner. I know people think it's the tuner. It's not. Decatron's the tuner, and that's coming out in Clash of Rebellion. So we do have a level 1 at least. So that's good. So I don't run the level 5 or level 6. So take it with what you may, but this is the best way to run the deck. And now for the one monster that is not an Infernoid monster. It is the one normal summonable monster that we run. The reason why we call this version of the deck Hot Dog, Outstanding Dog Marin. Well, if you don't know what Outstanding Dog Marin does, I went to locals and this guy explained it to me. When this goes into the graveyard, add it to your deck and shuffle it. So basically, if you go reasoning and they call the one, and you get it right, it's only a normal summonable monster in your deck. So you're gonna mill, statistically speaking, half your deck, at least. But when you finally do get to Marin, you just shuffle it back into the deck if they call it right. If they call it wrong, you special summon it, you use it to tribute. Now when you tribute it, you just shuffle it back to the deck again. It's not a once per turn clause, there's nothing like that. It just every time it goes to the graveyard, you shuffle it back to the deck. This way you have no chance of decking out. So there you go, guys. That's that. So there's Marin. So that's what we call Hot Dog right there. A nice Infernoid list with the Outstanding Dog of Marin to follow. So getting into spell traps kind of changed a lot. Void Banishment. Void Banishment is like the Rhoda of the deck. It doesn't search out monsters, search out spells, but in this deck that's so key because what you're going to learn is, see, in Necros the point was to Trish. In Infernoids the point is to Void Trap Hole them. And what I mean by that is, if you search out Void Trap Hole with Void Banishment, I only run 1 copy of the card of Void Trap Hole, but you can run 2. I think 2 is okay too. But the point is to Void Trap Hole them if they are running a deck with big beaters, such as Construct and One-Gate. Still very, very good. Again, if you tribute Marin, you just put it back into the deck, shuffle it, and then mill. So, it is what it is. But Monster Gate's just a great card, so there's that. And then for the other cards, we run 2 copies of Mystical Space Typhoon. Now, I see people running Galaxy Cyclone. I actually do not like that card one bit because most of the stuff that's really annoying is your hardest matchup, which outside of Necros is Cleafort. And basically, I know you could side Mystical Space Typhoon, which I side a third, but Galaxy Cyclone does almost, next to nothing against Clyfort. I mean, it doesn't pop face up stuff. I mean, I know it works in the graveyard, but if it worked in the graveyard, people would be running Breakthrough Skill, and I do not recommend running Breakthrough Skill. Galaxy Cyclone is an overhyped MST. There's nothing to be, all over it. Buying it for $40 when, especially when, it go down very quickly. But like I said, 2 MST, that's fine. The main deck. Then we're gonna run the outs to Jinlock and Raigeki in Dark Hole, in another Dark Hole, and Book of Eclipse. Now we'll get to the more Jin outs in the side deck. So where there's kind of like an interesting kind of thing. So we're gonna get into that, and then we run the one Burial from a Different Dimension. This is kind of like really cool, just being able to return stuff. So late game. So there's that. 1 Heliopolis, 1 Big Eye, 1 Draco Sack, 1 Downer Magician, just because if he makes like a rank 3. 1 Ghost Trick Angel Mystic, because I'm running it for Duelahan. 1 Dante, probably the most important thing in the extra deck. Number 30 has to go in Destruction. Equipped Engineer. Wind up Zen the Titan Takeover, as well as the Ignoble Lifestyle Facebook group. And subscribe. Thank you guys. Peace.